Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Nathan Robert here. I'm currently 20 years old and I'm going to be sharing with you my entire stock portfolio. I'll show you every stock that I own, how much I'm up and down on all of them. I'll also share with you my Roth IRA, which I just started with Robinhood literally just a couple months ago. And also I'll show you all my dividend income. And I have multiple portfolios as well. So of course I have this Robinhood account, but I also have a Moomoo account. And a thing I do on my channel is once I buy a stock in this portfolio, I will never sell it for the rest of my life. And so it's like completely transparent. So if you want to subscribe and follow along, that'd be pretty cool. But check this out. Let's see how this strategy's been doing. Our total position profit and losses, we're only up $200. So that's because we have some really big winners like Powell Industries. We're up over double on them. But also we've lost over half our money on like Perion Network right here. And you can see exactly where I buy all my shares and stuff like that. So this one right here, they actually have a $378 million market cap, and they have $400 million in cash and zero debt. So they're literally trading under their cash value, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, I'm kind of getting off track here. Let's go ahead and show you all the stocks that I own in here. So on the day, I guess it doesn't matter. We're kind of rallying up on the day though, but let me show you all the stocks that I own. So here's them by total equity. So here's how much all of the shares are worth right now. And here's my lifetime percentage change on all my stocks. So as we can see, we're only down on one stock right now. We're only down on Google, and I've actually been buying the dip on Google. We now own 11 shares of them. I also believe we have a dividend coming in from them. Yeah, we got $1.83 coming in from Google. They actually just started paying dividends, so this is what's insane about Google. I'll be really quick about this. So if we go over to Google stock, check this out. They literally just started paying out dividends, but look at this. Look at their net income. They just made a record all-time high, $24 billion of net income, up 20% year over year. So what is Google doing with $24 billion? Well, they just started paying out a dividend, which is only $2.5 billion, which is an insanely low payout ratio. But Google is literally spending $15 billion every single quarter buying back their own stock. So that's why Google stock keeps going up so much. They keep buying back their own shares. And if we go to their balance sheet, Google has $100 billion of cash right now, which is making them a ton of interest. But that's what's crazy. Literally $100 billion of cash. Google is a cash cow. So that's why I keep buying Google. I plan to keep increasing my position in Google if they keep falling. But I'm kind of only talking about Google right now. Let's talk about some other stocks like Realty Income. This is a company that's in the S&P 500. They pay you monthly dividends. This one actually pays me the most amount of dividend income, and they pay me every single month, which is awesome, like I said. If we also look at some other stocks like Meta, Meta's been an insanely good performer as well, and they deserve to be at all-time highs. They're still trading at a very fair valuation, just like Google. Google's trading at 22 times earnings, which is insanely cheap. Oh yeah, and so look at this. We also own 5 shares of McDonald's. We have a dividend coming in from McDonald's of $8.38. We're up 20% on our shares of McDonald's. But here's what's crazy about McDonald's. That really boring, restaurant stock is at all-time high. So if we look at this chart, or actually they hit an all-time high today, is if I'm reading that correctly, but they're falling a little bit below, but literally McDonald's is like 1% off their all-time high, and they have a 2.3% dividend yield, and they're trading at 25 times earnings. So McDonald's, I really, really like that stock, and I like their food, what they're doing with their $5 meal deal. Let me show you my Roth IRA really quick. So most of these stocks you've probably never heard of in here. I'll show you my total percentage change on all of them. So like BRX is a REIT, a real estate investment trust that owns like Kroger's, Publix, Walmart, stuff like that. I got a little, look, it's literally like 25 bucks of Hawaii Electric, and then 1 share of Krispy Kreme, ticker symbol DNUT. So I didn't even realize Krispy Kreme was publicly traded, which is kind of funny, but they are. And they pay a dividend as well, very small. But check this out. So let's go back to our Moomoo account in here. So, and I will say, so I'll quickly say, every single stock that you see right here, every stock that I own in my Robinhood taxable account pays a dividend. So every stock in here does pay a dividend, which is pretty cool. But I own some stocks in here that do not pay a dividend, like DocuSign. This one does not pay a dividend. They're actually completely debt-free. DocuSign's debt-free with a ton of cash. They just went net income positive. I'll show you that a little later. But we also have like Perion Network. They do not pay a dividend. And Bill Holdings, this is one we're down 34% on. We were buying this stock at over $112 a share. But Bill Holdings, they also just went net income positive. That's what's funny. Like DocuSign and Bill Holdings are at all-time high record profitability, but yet both of the stocks are at really low prices, which is crazy. Oh yeah, I'll show you Disney. So I actually bought 2 shares of Disney today. So right before I started recording, I bought some more Disney. If we look at this really quickly, why do I like Disney so much? Just look at their free cash flow right here. They're literally cranking out free cash flow. I believe they're trading, well, now probably around 19 times free cash flow. So Disney, honestly, I want to hold that company for the next 10 years. Even though it's a lot of people dislike Disney, and I can completely understand that. I also want to buy some more Nike stock. They are actually trading at, look at the top middle there. You see the PE trailing 12 months ratio. They're trading at 21 times earnings, which, you know, that seems pretty cheap. I mean, you know, none of this is financial advice. None of this is personalized advice. But I really like that. Oh, yeah. So another stock that is at all-time highs today, which I own, this is crazy. So this is CubeSmart. This is a boring self-storage stock, and they are literally at all-time highs, which is crazy. This is another company that has to pay out most of their income in the form of dividends by law. So this one at all-time highs has a 3.74% dividend yield, and they have to pay out that dividend by law. So it's normal for them to have a really high dividend yield. And another stock, okay, so I do own, this is my largest holding in my Webull portfolio. I don't really go over it much, but I also own some Robinhood stocks. So Robinhood, you know, owns the Robinhood app. I also own some Robinhood shares, 60 shares of them. And here's why I like Robinhood so much. Just look at their net income. They just went net income positive for the first time, which is a great sign. But look at this top line revenue growth. I mean, it's up 40% year over year. So why are their sales going up so much? Because look at their customer assets under management. So literally in 2023, they had $27 billion of assets under management. Now they have $41 billion of assets, which is crazy. So that's why I like Hood stock. I've been holding on to that one for a while. And I know this video is kind of all over the place. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'll make sure to respond to every single comment. But here's all my dividend income if you're curious. So I kind of already went over some of this, but Realty Income, this one pays me $7.89 every single month, which is pretty cool. You know, we also have our Roth IRA paying us some dividends like DNUT, SEVN. So I'll show you my highest yielding stock. So this one, I don't own much of it because it's really risky, but here is Seven Hills Realty. This one is a mortgage REIT and IMREIT, and they have a 10% dividend yield, which is kind of cool. And you don't really look at the PE ratio for these stocks, but they're trading at a 9 times PE ratio. But they actually have loans with some of my favorite REITs. Like they have a lot of loans with Extra Space Storage. They have a lot of loans with, which is another company I really like. They're in the self-storage industry, another REIT. They have a 3.6% dividend yield. I would not want to have a lot of money in that stock though. Like I don't expect that one to outperform these stocks in here. All of these ones have a dividend yield, but really low dividend yields like Salesforce, Google, Meta, Constellation Energy, and CSL, my largest holding, all have dividend yields of under 1%. So isn't that crazy? Most of my stocks have dividend yields of under 1%. And I don't mind that because I know in 5 to 10 years, the dividend growth rate of these companies will be insane because their payout ratios are super low. Like Meta's payout ratio is super low. Google's are super low. And actually every stock that you see in this portfolio is in the S&P 500 except for one, except for my largest holding, which I am having a prediction that this company will be in the S&P 500 soon. They have 48 years of dividend growth. They meet and exceed all expectations, all the requirements to be in the S&P 500. So I expect CSL to be in the S&P 500 one day. Mainly, I really just buy high-quality companies with growing financials. Like as when I went over with Google, I like looking at their net income. Are they doing buybacks? Are they doing dividends? That's what I like to look at. And here's our portfolio in here. So also, I want to quickly go over Powell Industries because this one has been a roller coaster of a hold. So don't be fooled because even though the stock is at all-time highs, here's why I might actually consider buying more. So the stock is kind of close to all-time highs, but look on the left, look at that forward PE ratio. They're literally trading at 14 times earnings at all-time highs, which is crazy. 14 times earnings, and look at this. This company is completely debt-free. They have zero debt. And look at this net income growth, $46 million in the most recent quarter. And they also pay a dividend, and their dividend only cost $3 million. So if they make $40 million in one quarter, and their dividend's only $3 million, they have so much room to raise their dividend in the future. They also have a lot of short-term investments. So here's the money that they have in treasury bills. So remember this, $42 million in short-term investments plus $330 million in cash. So what is all that doing for them? Look at the interest that they're making. So this is the interest that they're making on their cash, literally $4.5 million, which covers the cost of the dividend. And they're retaining a lot of earnings, which is crazy. So that's why I really love Powell Industries stock. So that was kind of the last stock I wanted to go over. If y'all don't know who I am or what I do, my main channel is actually called Rust Moments. I make these compilations. I actually have a few different channels. But anyways, guys, that wraps up the video. If you have any comments for me or advice or anything you want to say, let me know in the comments. I'll make sure to read every single one of them. I really appreciate y'all being here. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. It really helps me out a lot. And I will see you guys in the next video.